Hey everyone, welcome back to Still With Sara, a space for truth-telling, healing, and remembering who we really are. I'm your host, Sarah, and I am so grateful that you're here with me today, tuning in with me. If you've been listening for a while, you know that this podcast is more than just conversation. It's about connection. It's also about slowing down and learning to see life through a more conscious spiritual lens. And today's episode is a special one, and we're talking about something that the world desperately needs right now, which is conscious leadership. To me, conscious leadership is leadership that begins from within. It's not about ego, control, or productivity. It's about presence, purpose, and energy. And it's also leading from heart, not through fear. And I couldn't think of a better person to explore this with than Janessa, the visionary behind Estrella's Cafecito, a space that's become more than just a coffee shop. It's a hub for healing, creativity, and community. So I want to bring her in and talk about conscious leadership. Yeah, so take it away, Janessa, if you want to introduce yourself. And how did Estrella's Cafecito come about?
Well, first, thank you so much for having me on, Sarah. My name is Janessa. I'm the owner of Estrella's Cafecito, and I really decided to start this coffee business because I did have this vision for a couple months, I would say since January. So it did take about 10 months for me to come about it. But as an individual myself, I just know how much I love coffee and how much tranquility it brought me, just getting a coffee and being able to just relax a little bit, which is why I really decided to start this vision, because I know that it can really start, it can really build a stronger bond between friends when they just grab a coffee and talk, which is really the defining reason why I started my business. I started it off with a friend of mine, and we kind of branched off and did our own thing. And I really decided to go with Estrella because my middle name is Star, and I am Hispanic, which is the actual meaning behind my name. So thank you so much for having me on, Sarah.
Yeah, absolutely. And just thanks for, giving me the honor of doing it and being so flexible with all of the tech issues we have had this week. So just thank you for, your grace and compassion and just wanting to be able to share this moment with me. And it's really special. Can you share a moment when leading consciously challenged you and how you stayed true to your values through it? But before you answer that question, I kind of got ahead of myself. What does conscious leadership mean to you?
Well, that is such a great question. And for me, it means having a beautiful intention in the way you lead. And that starts by having a vision, whether that's essentially wanting to bring people together. That is the intention behind my brand. And it means being able to have a relationship with my customers. And I really ask myself every time I am serving a customer, what is the best way for me to serve them while being a good leader? And to me, being a leader starts with building community and building relationships. I would say those are the most important beacons of being a leader.
Yeah, I totally agree. And, you know, just from my experience as well with leadership, I've been on both sides of the table where I've had really good leaders that led with compassion and empathy. And then I had really bad leaders that led with fear and really wanted to intimidate. And I feel like in this moment in time that we're in, and as we're shifting as a collective, we really need conscious leaders, and that it doesn't matter if you have a title or anything like that. Like that really does not matter. It's starting from within. It's not about being perfect, it's about being present. So when things get,
Exactly.
yeah, absolutely. When things get heavy or when you're holding space for others, what grounds you personally? Do you have like a ritual or a practice or just a mantra or anything like that that helps you just kind of realign yourself and get centered again?
That is such a great question. I would say when I am stressed, in a lot of stressful times, I like to reconnect with nature and just being in a place with mindfulness and being present within my body. And that means really thinking about what my body needs, whether that's rest, whether that's a walk to calm myself. I really try to be present and really think about what my body needs. I like to journal, I like to go on walks, I love hikes, I love nature, and I love working out. I would say working out has done so much for my mental health, and it just starts with, putting my body first, whether that's needing a rest day, whether that's going on a run, whatever fuels my body and makes me feel good mentally, that's what I'm really looking for at the end of the day. And I'm always trying to find a different way to make myself feel better.
It's beautiful. It's something that I've learned too. When we take care of our nervous system, we show up differently. We lead differently. Emotions are energy in motion. So if you have just like a whole bunch of stuff going on, like and your body is just kind of having all of these alarms go off.
Oh,
So
yeah, definitely.
have you ever tried like somatic press practice or EMDR?
No, but I've heard about that. I know that it has helped a lot of people. Personally, I haven't. Have you tried it? Can you tell me a little bit about it?
EMDR, I haven't done in a long time, but somatic practice, I mean, it's literally just like dancing and shaking your ass around the
Oh,
house.
yeah.
I mean, like,
Oh,
and I
cool.
I do
Yeah.
that, listening to music and stuff. And so I just put my headphones on and I listen to what I like to call alchemist musicians that
Mhm.
have like positive affirmations and stuff that's because at the end of the day, you are what you consume. So if I'm
True.
listening to it on like repetition, I'm helping kind of reprogram my mind in a positive mindset because I had such a
Yeah.
negative mindset for a really long time. So things like, like Queen Herbie or Abel Hart, Peachka, like I found a new one just tonight. I can't think of her name right now, but she's pretty much saying that like I get paid to exist. I think I posted it on my story and
Oh, then yeah, I know exactly what you're
yeah,
talking
she
about.
she came
Yeah.
up on my FYP and I'm like, "Yes, queen." Okay, she has been on loop literally for the last 2 hours while I've been just kind of doing stuff around the
Oh,
house.
yeah. Yeah, music is definitely such a nice way to like have another outlet. It's
Yeah.
just giving you something else to think about, and people don't really realize that it's such a good way to like reset your mental health.
Mhm. What do you hope your example at Estrella's Cafecito shows the next generation of women, entrepreneurs, and community builders?
That's such a great question, and I would say that patience and resilience with and time, you can do anything. There's always going to be an obstacle, and manifestation will always get you like your exact path. If I literally had this dream since January, and there were so many different reasons why I couldn't start, whether that's like the machine. I saved up for a machine. It took me a while, but I saved up. And there's gonna be so many obstacles, whether that's timing, whether that's people, whether that's equipment. Equipment.
Mm.
So I feel like there's always going to be a problem unless you find a solution. So a problem shouldn't stop you from achieving your dream. You should always try and find a solution, even if it takes time. And there will always be a way to succeed. Always, always, always. It's just sometimes it's so hard and people want to give up, but that's when you shouldn't give up because if it was easy, everyone would do it.
Preach, girl, preach. Because I feel like too, and I talked about this recently with some girlfriends as well. I'm like, damn, things are really hard when you're trying to do something that you really love to do, or you feel like your heart is calling you to do. And it seems like all of these obstacles are coming in front of you, but I feel like it's an opportunity to see what a solution is. My mentor always says like this is good. And I think you spoke about that on one of your videos recently too about changing your mindset.
Yes. Right.
And it's so
Yeah.
true because once you really do kind of reframe, you look at something so differently and then it changes just your vibration and like you said that your attraction.
Yeah, and honestly, it did take me a while to figure that out. I mean, especially as in a young age, you have that mentality where especially in social media, you're always going to see things that you don't have.
Yeah.
But comparison is the thief of joy, right? So every time you compare yourself to someone else or something someone else has, you're never going to be completely fulfilled. So one of the main important things that I have found that like has helped my mental health drastically is being grateful for the things that I have in my life currently and obviously setting goals for myself whether or not I do want something. I'm going to get there eventually, but being appreciative of your body, your soul, everything you have now, you're alive and that is just amazing. And being grateful every day you wake up, that's just so important.
I love that. Yeah, and I agree. Living in gratitude. Are there people in your life that inspire you around you that are conscious leaders in your life? And are there like certain podcasts or books and stuff that you've read or just anybody in general that has inspired you? Because you have a really good head on your shoulders. And for
I'm 19.
19, yeah. Because I mean, girl,
Yeah.
I remember when I was 19, I was arrogant and I was, very, but at that time, that's when the recession happened. And
Oh,
like the
wow.
market crash and stuff with like the houses and stuff in 2008. Like I graduated at that time. And so
Wow.
I was
Mhm.
18 and I was like, holy crap, what am I going to do? So I had to like pivot kind of in a different way. But through survival and
Oh,
with
yeah. That's
the
such a hard time.
yeah, and the way that you're shifting and the mindset that you're in and then the times that we're in, girl. It's like you need to be
Yeah.
so proud of yourself because it's
Mhm.
hard and that it's not
It is
this type of
difficult.
like soul work is not for the weak. So
Yeah.
it's very inspiring to see someone at your age be able to
Mhm.
be like that aware and conscious. So I know I rambled and I asked you questions, so I'll
That is
and ask you.
totally okay. I love that question. And I'll start off by saying that I did have a really rough childhood. So I was in the foster system a couple times. And obviously, that childhood trauma really does change a person. And I did struggle a lot, with their, whether it's comparison or not feeling fulfilled. But I will say there are about three people in my life who have really shown me what it is to be a good person and a conscious leader. And I would start off by saying my grandma and my grandpa. They both moved here at a very young age and they don't have a lot. They're old now, but they're at retirement age, but they're still working. And they always showed me at a young age whether or not we had more than enough, we always had something more than someone else. Like if we went
Yeah,
to a grocery store and we had a cart full of groceries, we would still always stop to give, a homeless person $1. And that's something my grandparents had always shown me.
I love that.
Um, it's just being a good person. But I will say that my boyfriend Matthew, he is definitely one of the best leaders I know. He actually is what inspired me to start my business, most importantly, because he has an energy detailing company, which is car detailing. He started that on his own in his senior year of high school, so he's currently been doing it for almost 3 years.
Wow.
And just seeing the way he handles everything on his shoulders and the way he has been able to shift my mentality overall as a person, that has definitely changed the whole trajectory of my life. And I will start by saying that it just starts with one good person reminding you how good of a person you are, whether or not it's something small or not. It's just one person.
Oh, I love that. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. To be able to see all of that, just everything you explained, it's such an incredible journey. And I feel like with all the trials and tribulations that you had in your life, that's led you to right now and has prepared you
Right.
for right now. And you're very resilient and you should be very proud of yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. And I want to tell people in the audience and stuff, people that are listening, how can they get in touch with you? How can they order from you? Do you kind of want to give the rundown of that for me?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram and TikTok. I do prefer DMs on Instagram because I don't get notifications on TikTok for some reason. I think it's just because of like my business account. So I don't receive notifications. So if it's more of something that you want an immediate response, most likely I'll see it on Instagram versus TikTok. But to place an order, it's pretty much very easy. I have a highlight on my actual Instagram page with all the information and my menu and my hours. So those are the three things you should look towards before making an order, just because I know it's hard navigating it. So I do have a whole section called Step One, just so people are able to find it more accessibly and it's way easier for people to know where it's at. But I'm very glad that, I'm here on the podcast being able to tell you guys all about my business. I'm Estrella's Cafecito on Instagram and Estrella's Cafe on TikTok.
Awesome. I love that. And I also wanted to let people know too, and I think I shared it on the episode before this one, just to kind of give an intro and a background about you. So I know that you are currently a student and you
Yeah.
are majoring in political science. And your goal, can you tell the audience what your goal is, what your dreams are, and just so that they can kind of know a little bit better?
So I'm currently an undergrad in my third year at UCI. I'm double majoring in criminology and political science, which is definitely it's very fun. It's a lot of reading, but definitely it's something I'm very interested in. I do want to go to law school eventually, and hopefully I'll study immigration law, and that will be my specialty, and that's my ultimate career. I want to eventually work at the ACLU, hopefully, maybe as a civil rights attorney. And those are my goals. I will say that I started off in high school with this dream, and that's definitely what I've worked towards since then. I will say that it wasn't very easy. I am the first in my family to go straight from high school to a university, so it wasn't easy to navigate, but I did have a lot of pre-college tutors who were able to help me navigate that whole system, which was super fun, super interesting. And that's currently my current position. I do work at a high school with students who are in a pre-college program that want to attend university, and my goal is to basically work as a second counselor with them to help them achieve their goals, similar to how I achieved mine of getting into university.
Awesome. So I wanted to ask you as well. I noticed that you have a GoFundMe on your Instagram, and I know that you have your own GoFundMe for your Washington D.C. trip. Do you want to tell the viewers a little bit about the current GoFundMe that you have and your GoFundMe?
Okay, yeah, so I have one GoFundMe in my bio. I do have a goal of going to DC this year and interning on Capitol Hill. And that is a little bit on the hefty cost side, which is why I'm trying to raise money for it. However, something did come to my attention. I live in a predominantly Hispanic community, living in Anaheim, which is why I'm very passionate about immigrant rights and first generation Americans. And story did come up on my page of a family's who posted a video of their mother being arrested while attending immigration court. And that was very saddening for me to see, and it definitely broke my heart. And I thought I would do my part with the little platform I have to, bring attention to the problem. And whether it's raising even just $5, I think that would totally help that family. And that was more of a priority than my dreams at the moment. But I do have a GoFundMe, and I currently have zero donations, but that's okay because, like I said, it's about being grateful, and I'm hoping people are donating to the GoFundMe in my link that I do have linked to this family. They definitely need it more than I do. Hopefully, eventually, I'll learn how to do two links, but for now, that family's my priority, and eventually, I will probably add my GoFundMe for my trip back on there.
That's awesome. And I what's happening with the ice right now is not okay. Do not
It's
agree.
totally
It's
insane.
completely illegal and a violation of our rights. I just want to say that. Um, but what you're doing is really admirable, and I love that you are using your platform to be able to help that family. And I really hope that they reach their goal quickly, swiftly. Same thing with
Yeah.
you. And I'll put right above where I am on this screen all the information as well, so that if you do and would like to donate, every little bit helps. And just thank you again for your kind heart to be able to help this family in any way that you can. Um,
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, absolutely. Anytime that anybody's stressed, or if you're just having a moment where, all your bells and whistles in your body are going off, it's kind of a good way to reset your nervous system. So we're going to take a deep breath in for 4 counts, hold for 4, and exhale for 4. By doing breath work, it has definitely helped me. I know in moments I'm kind of out of practice and I try to be better about it every day, but this definitely does help. So, is there anything that you wanted to say or share before we do that?
I want to say thank you so much, and I'm so excited to have this moment of a moment of a reset. And I think it's very important that everyone in the listening to the podcast really takes this opportunity, whether or not they're stressed or going through a lot. It's just a nice reset to have. So I want to thank you so much for giving them this opportunity.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. We'll go ahead and get into it if you want to get comfortable. Anybody that's listening or watching right now, if you can get comfortable, close your eyes if it's safe to do so. If you're driving, please don't do that. Just pause for later. Okay, so take a deep breath in with me. 4 counts. 3, 4. Hold. And exhale. Just kind of let all that negative energy out. Relax your shoulders. Kind of melt into your seat. Just relax your whole body. What does conscious leadership mean to you? Maybe you're a business owner, maybe you're a parent, maybe you're just leading yourself through a difficult season. Whatever it is, leadership is energy. And when we bring our consciousness to it, when we slow down and listen, we create space for transformation. I've learned that healing and leadership are the same path. Because when we heal, we automatically lead from a place of wholeness. And that energy becomes medicine for everyone around us. With that, just thank you, Janessa, so much for joining me today and sharing your wisdom and your light with us. And thank you to all who are listening. If you're ever in the Anaheim area, make sure to visit Estrella's Cafecito. Follow her on Instagram and TikTok. I'll put all of her stuff up here. And support local leaders who are doing the deep conscious work. And to my listeners, just remember this, that the world doesn't need more leaders with followers. The world needs more leaders with awareness. So wherever you are, whatever you're creating, lead with love, lead with curiosity, and lead with consciousness. Until next time, stay present, stay soft, and stay still with Sara. Thanks so much, Janessa. This was so awesome. I'm so honored for you to be my first interview, and I hope that we can chat and stuff later on at some point, because we both are local. We could probably get
Yes, thank you so
together,
much.
and I have a camera and stuff that we use for my boyfriend's vending stuff. So we're gonna test some of it out this weekend with our interview. So at some point we'll get to meet, have some cafecito, and talk
Yes.
and do
Yes,
another
thank you
interview
so
sometime.
much.
Yes,
I hope
thank
I
you
see you
so
soon.
much.
Thank you for having me. I feel so honored.
Oh, thank
Yes, thank
you.
you.
I
Good night.
appreciate
Hope you have
it.
a good night.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.